What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Orange and Gray podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Slez. With me, as always, Titan Mike Kessinger. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on, Kev?
That damn recording message threw me off again. Got to get used to that.
It's a woman's voice. I get it. It's confusing.
It is a little confusing. So, anything going on this Memorial Day? I know the weather's been pretty shitty. Friday and Saturday, a little better today.
Yeah, I smoked a couple racks of ribs today. My parents and sister came over.
Nice.
Nothing like crazy. Tomorrow, I think we're going to the rib cook-off in Berea.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Me, Troy, Amanda, and the kid.
Nice.
So as long as the weather's supposed to be good.
It's supposed to be 70, and
as long as it stays good, we're gonna go. If it turns out to be a shitty day, then probably not gonna happen. But
right. So what's going on in the NFL and NCAA world?
We got not too much. It's kind of a null in the season. You know.
Yeah.
New season starts June 1st, so you'll see a lot of cuts and signings and trades will happen after the first because the cap issues. You know, because of the new year, old year situation. So we got another couple of days. Like tomorrow. After tomorrow on Tuesday, we should see a little bit more things. We could see as early as Tuesday afternoon, a Julio trade.
Yeah,
and we there's a couple teams on there that I think would be great fits, and there's a couple teams that would be surprising, and I just don't see it working out. Just based off of cap and the weapon and the situation they're already in, like I just don't. And Julio Jones wants to go to too. You know, he wants to go to a contender.
Right.
He's 32. You know, he wants to compete for a championship. He doesn't want to go to a young up and coming team. So that knocks a bunch of teams out. So that's the biggest Julio Watch 21. You know what we're gonna dub it.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're gonna see what happens on because that's a big name player to leave a franchise because he's like I said, he might be 32, but he's not underperforming. You know what I mean? He's still performing at a top 10 receiver level. And we have the odds here for like the top 10 teams they're going to get him. My Titans sitting at number one at plus 175.
Yep.
Followed by the Falcons and him staying put. And then the New England Patriots. Let's just go with those three for now. Because after that, it gets kind of dicey, and I'm just not sure I see anybody there. There's one team I see him maybe going to, but other than that, I don't. Those top three are probably the teams most likely to see Julio trade.
I'm surprised Green Bay's not on there. That would be
with the Aaron Rodgers situation.
That's how you make it up. So I'm gonna say, hey, look what we got for you.
They won't draft a receiver. You think they're gonna give up a first round pick or a high pick for a receiver that's 32?
That would smooth it over for sure.
Yeah, if they made that splash, Aaron Rodgers would come back and go, okay, I got Julio Jones, Devontae Adams. I'm getting a championship next 2 years.
Right.
And then you got Aaron Jones, who I think is an underrated running back. Aaron Jones can be elite. He's not consistently elite, but he has those games where he'll put up 220 yards and 4 TDs, and you're like, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
You know, the next thing you won't see him, he will put up like 80 yards, you know? And you're like, huh? But
you're right. It's not a Green Bay Packer-esque move.
No, that team is so they don't like to make trades unless they're trading away players for picks and other type of capital situation. They sign free agents, they sign lower end free agents. They're kind of like New England. They go get those, back end, middle tier players, and they build around their elite quarterback, or elite coach. In New England's situation, but
it's interesting on this list too. The second best odds for the team he takes his next snap for is Atlanta Falcons.
Well, that's because I look at it as not because he wants to play for him. It's more I think the odds of them being that high is because they're not going to get an offer that they like.
Yeah,
and they're just going to keep him instead of trade him. They're going to be like, "Yo, let's do this deal." They'll try to do something to make him smooth things over because they couldn't get a package worth worth his weight or worth his value, and that's understandable. Jones is still a top 5 receiver in the NFL. I believe, I truly believe that.
Yeah.
But like we said, we got Tennessee Titans, Atlanta Falcons, New England Patriots. We were talking about this before the show started. If Tennessee was able to put the trade in, what I'm reading is that Tennessee is looking at a second round pick and a player, and they're leading the pack. You know, there are a lot of analysts and a lot of NFL insiders are saying that we could see a Julio Jones trade on the first, and the Titans looking like the place where it's going to go. Now, I would love that. 100% love that, because like I was saying, you put A.J. Brown, who is probably one of the top 3 up-and-coming receivers in the NFL. Him, Justin Jefferson, and DK Metcalf
right,
are probably the top 3 young studs up-and-coming. And you have Derrick Henry, who you know what he's capable of doing.
right.
If you put Julio Jones there, okay, who are you going to double team? You're going to double team Julio Jones and A.J. Brown? Fine. Well, that leaves you with a weak front 4, front 7, and Derrick Henry's going to average 13, 14 yards to carry then. And then as soon as you stack the box to stop that, now you freed up 2 elite perimeter receivers,
right.
Who could beat you one-on-one, hands down. So that'd be scary. In my opinion, like literally they would be one of the most potent offenses in the NFL if Julio Jones landed in Tennessee, just because of they have a great offensive line, because they got people coming. Taylor Lewan's coming back. They drafted Udon to pick up the right tackle. I mean, I see that offensive line making a big step forward, especially with their coming, because they had a 2,000-yard rusher last year without Lewan for 9 weeks.
Right.
I mean, when you have a top 5 left tackle in the NFL out for the year, and you still have produced a 2,000-yard rusher, that line shows depth. It shows it shows strength, and then that's one of the strengths in Tennessee is their line and the running game.
Right.
And you throw Julio Jones in there, it just changed the game, because now no team can really scheme to stop this offense, and it's gonna be scary. Falcons, we know what the Falcons are, so, and with Pitts, it could be like another thing. It could really take the pressure off Julio, and Julio, Pitts, and Calvin Ridley. It's a dynamic setup there. We'll see what Pitts is. I see all the hype about Pitts is true,
Right.
Because there was a lot of hype about Eric Ebron and a lot of hype about T.J. Hockenson, and they haven't really panned out.
No.
And Noah Fant as they are hyped. So hopefully Pitt can, convince us that he's what he's supposed to be.
But you talk about Aaron Rodgers. It's kind of cooled off a bit, and you look at the odds, what team he's going to play for week 1, and that's probably why Green Bay is listed as number 1. You got Green Bay, Denver Broncos, number 2 at plus 200, and then the Las Vegas Raiders, number 3 at plus 500.
Yeah.
Another interesting one under number 4, the Saints.
And I can see the Saints because, I don't trust what they have there now.
No.
I don't trust Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. I really don't at all. But I think I don't see Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers goes anywhere, it's going to be Denver, and it's going to be for a haul. It's going to be a haul. It's going to include probably most likely Von Miller. It's going to include Derek Locke and a couple picks. It's going to include one of those. I even see something that's going to include Bradley Chubb. Like, instead of Von Miller, Bradley Chubb goes because he's a younger player.
Yeah.
So, man, excuse me. But I don't see Aaron Rodgers moving. I really see him day one. He's in Green Bay. I just don't see.
I think he stays there for sure, at least one more year. And we got some other odds I printed out here. Just some of the awards, early predictions for the awards. Odds for, let's see, the NFL MVP. We've got Patrick Mahomes at number 1 plus 500. Aaron Rodgers, number 2 plus 900. Josh Allen, that's an interesting one. And coming in at number 3.
I see someone. I'm not too surprised to see Allen on there. He burst on the scene last year. That Buffalo team is in my opinion, it's underrated. It's they're slept on a lot. They surprise some people, and they still don't get the respect that they're gonna they deserve. Josh Allen is a gunslinger. He can lead that team. He showed us, and with that receiving core, they're way better than they were.
Yep.
Now with Diggs there, and they added some good pieces in the draft. So I mean, I see Allen on there. I see Allen probably where he should be, like Mahomes, Rodgers, and then Allen.
You got the
I
old
like
man,
Staff.
Tom Brady.
I like Stafford before Brady, even though they're the same odds.
Yeah.
I like Stafford in Los Angeles. They have a defense. They have a running game. They have everything he needed that he wanted that he never got in Detroit.
Yeah, I think he potentially have a big year.
Lamar Jackson, I don't see
repeating.
Teams are. He didn't win it last year.
Oh, that's right. It was 2 years.
He won it, the year before. Teams are gunning for him now. They're scheming against him.
Yeah.
He's not an unknown no more. They a lot of teams modeled off of Tennessee that in the playoff game and how they, a year ago, not last year, the year before that, how they slowed down Lamar Jackson and just contained him, didn't let him do anything, and made him try to beat us in the air, which he can't do. He'll make some good throws every once in a while, but he's not consistent enough to beat you solely with his arm. He's not. So if you contain him and keep him in the pocket, keep him behind the line of scrimmage, and force him to throw the ball, he's average. He beats you with his legs, and that's what happens. If you don't contain him, he beats you with his legs. That's why he's elite.
Yeah, you don't want him throwing 30, 40 passes a game.
You don't. If he's throwing 30, 40 passes, he's not playing to his strength, and he's playing outside his comfort zone, and he's not gonna produce the numbers he should be producing if he's running. He's a 20 to 25 pass guy and rush for 15, 20 times, and that's his game plan, which is fine because it works great for him.
Right.
But teams are coming to terms in that and figuring out how to scheme and shift and line up defensive coverage to slow that down and contain them. So I'm surprised to see Russell Wilson at plus 2,000 being that far. And I'm surprised to see Dak Prescott on there at all. I see Dak Prescott should be way, way higher odds.
Kyler Murray.
I think he's overrated. He's very overrated. He had one of the best receivers in the NFL and a great veteran receiver. And then you couldn't do much. You couldn't put up beat up. You're 8-8. Like, I think it's all hype for Kyler Murray. I think he'll be a solid quarterback in the league, but I don't see him as an MVP, elite guy. He's borderline great.
And a guy who's number 8 on this list, who I don't think has a chance to win it this year, but in the next couple of years, I think his name's going to be in consideration. Justin Herbert.
Once we see Rodgers and Brady, step down, retire. Justin Herbert, I think 2-3 years, Justin Herbert's going to be a household name, and he's going to be talked about highly. And the Chargers will be sitting there competing every year. It's going to be interesting to see Mahomes Herbert battle once Herbert gets a little more behind his.
Right. So this takes us to the 2021 NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. You look at the top 6. There's 5 quarterbacks. Led by Mr. Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence at plus 300. Then you got Justin Fields from the Bears plus 600. Trey Lance from the 49ers plus 600. Zach Wilson from the Jets plus 700. And then your guy Kyle Pitts, who just talked about a few minutes ago, at plus 1,100.
I don't like Justin Fields up there because I don't see him starting right away.
Yeah, he's not going to play much. I think maybe mid-season.
Yes, I see mid-season. Trey Lance, same thing. I don't see him. I don't like his odds up there because he's not going to be playing much, especially if Jimmy G's healthy.
If he's healthy, you're going to play.
I think Zach Wilson should have the Justin Fields odds, and Justin Fields should have the Mac Jones odds and the Pitts odds. Like, I think Trevor Lawrence is right. He's probably the front runner for Rookie of the Year. And then I like Zach Wilson next. I think he has a.
Well, those two are going to start from day one. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they have the. Najee Harris, I'm surprised. Oh, there he is at plus 1,200.
Yeah.
He may have. I think he should have better odds than that too. Just because I think Pittsburgh gonna try to lean on him more because of Ben's old age.
Yeah.
So I think he could have a fairly dominant season if he continues the production he did in Alabama.
Right.
I don't like getting receivers because there's too much to go around in Cincinnati. That line's weird. I don't know if he's gonna be able. Burrow's kind of as there's a lot of space, a lot of weapons there, a lot of hungry mouths there. So Jamar Chase, maybe not right away, and then Waddle in Miami. I'm not sure Tua is gonna be the guy.
Yeah,
to do it for him. And then Devontae Smith, I don't see Devontae Smith being an elite receiver in the NFL. I see him as a Ted Ginn type guy. Long career, slot guy, mostly kick punt return specialist, and that's what it's me. Just because of his speed and size. The dude's small. He's like 6 foot, buck 80,
yeah.
wet.
Yeah, he's tiny, but fast.
Yeah, and that was Ted Ginn. I think Ted Ginn was actually a little bit bigger though.
Yeah, he was a little bigger. I think he was closer to 6 foot.
You hear the news? Breaking news: Pujols passes Babe Ruth on extra base hit list.
Oh, did he?
Put him 4th all time.
Nice.
So, but
that takes us to the defensive rookie of the year odds, and coming in number 1, Penn State linebacker Micah Parsons, who's now with the Dallas Cowboys at plus 400. Jalen Phillips plus 700. Pay plus 1,000. Patrick Surtain plus 1,000, and number 5 Zaven Collins at plus 1,100.
JOK is weird at 1,400.
Yeah, I expected him to be higher than that.
Him coming in there being probably a day one starter in Cleveland, and the way Cleveland's projected to play, and him having, if this defense turns around and he's starting and he's putting up big numbers, I could see him being closer to the Micah Parsons just because of what they were, what they are now, and what he contributed.
Right.
Because a rookie of the year, it's more of a popularity thing than it is a stat thing,
Yeah, pretty much.
And there's gonna be a lot of eyes on Cleveland in the defense, especially with all the hype.
Yep.
And that defense turns around, because especially with 9 new starters, with the possibility of 9 new starters, and if he's the face of that new defense, well, not the face, but like he's the face of the newcomers.
Yeah.
Greg
Newsome too. He should has a chance to start from day one.
Yeah, I just don't see him having he's with Ward and was it who's a guy from LA you guys signed?
Troy Hill.
There, Troy Hill. I see them starting day one, and then Newsome becoming week 4 or 5, and Troy Hill going the slot, and Newsome becoming your number 2. I just don't see him. I just see JOK being a bigger impact, a bigger bright spot. So he's gonna get more of the popular vote. And so don't get me wrong, Newsome can have a major impact on that defensive back end. It's him, Ward, Johnson, and Harrison, right? That's your starting, Harrison and Johnson.
Yeah, they're saying, well, it'll be between it'll be Johnson and then Harrison and Delpit. We'll battle out for the second spot.
Okay, I go Harrison and gradually bring Delpit in.
Yeah,
but
all right. So that takes us to the NFL Defensive Player of the Year odds. And
this is not really a contest.
Not really.
Until Aaron Donald slows down, I don't see anybody really bad like Myles Garrett, unless Myles Garrett puts up a 19-20 sack season.
Yeah. If he plays every game, plays all 17 games, he's got a shot for sure.
That's 1 sack a game. You're at 17.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But the same with Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's Myles Garrett has to do something crazy just to surpass Aaron Donald, which is sad because Myles Garrett is legit. He's probably the top 3 edge rusher in the NFL.
Right.
But Aaron Donald just has that name. You know what I mean? He's just, and all these Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, MVP. It doesn't have, it's how your team plays, how you play does factor into it, but it also is a popularity concept too. And Aaron Donald now is NFL defense. He's the guy you think of. Name one defensive player in the NFL. You're going to scream Aaron Donald. You're probably going to scream Khalil Mack. You know what I mean? J.J. Watt. And those are all guys that, well, J.J. Watt and Aaron Donald are all guys that won multiple defensive player of the years, you know? Yep. So there's some rising stars in there. You know, you got the Bozas and T.J. Watt. And Myles Garrett. They're going to be there. I give it 2-3 years. Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt, and Boza will be one of those three will have a defensive player of the year in next 2 to 3 years. I guarantee it.
Chase Young too.
Yeah, he could be there too. I mean, he had a solid season in Washington last year. It was went under the radar, but it was pretty solid. Like, you know, he didn't. Right. But.
And we've got the comeback player of the year, and number one for that right now is Dak Prescott at plus 175. And you got Nick Bosa plus 400, Christian McCaffrey plus 500, Saquon Barkley plus 600, and Joe Burrow plus 700. Obviously, a lot of those guys coming back from injuries last year.
Are they all ACLs?
I think so.
Then the top 5 are all ACLs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they all are.
I think Saquon Barkley has a better shot than anybody. I just think what he means to the New York offense. And with with the weapons they added in the draft, and him coming back, and Daniel Jones having another year, I think the offense is going to be vastly, vastly improved.
Oh yeah,
and you're going to see them. You're going to see the Giants. I really think the Giants are going to be competing for the division next year, and Barkley's going to have a huge impact on that. And like Dak Prescott, we'll see. The offensive line isn't what it is. I mean, the receivers are there, but what Zeke shows up? If it fumble Zeke, or is it
right?
It's you, rookie Zeke, or
yeah.
But McCaffrey, who knows?
Your boy Carson Wentz came in at 7th.
Yeah, I just maybe. I mean, he is a candidate for a comeback player of the year. I mean, he was elite at one point. Yes. Had a great season. His first 2 years, it was really good, and then he just went to shit. And then if he comes back in Indianapolis and has a breakout season, of course he's gonna have and being a quarterback, it's just gonna boost him up that much more.
Right.
But I just don't think Carson Wentz is that great. I think he had a good season because nobody knew. And then, he got hurt, and I think he just can't stay healthy. Colts didn't add a legit left tackle to replace their one that left. So I don't know is he gonna be protected that well? I mean, they're not coming up the middle with Nelson there, but the edges are still there, and you're playing in a division that has a boasted defenses on all around. So I mean, we'll see what happens, but I just don't like I don't like him coming I don't like him being a factor. Like, I really don't see him being someone I should really worry about. I'd be more scared of Philip Rivers, honestly, than I would be Carson Wentz. But we'll see.
And that brings us to the last one, the NFL Coach of the Year for 2021.
These are all high odds. Like, what the hell?
I know.
Like, how's the first one the same as the first? So,
yeah, they got Stefanski from the Browns listed number 1, the reigning Coach of the Year. Then Brandon Staley from the Chargers and Kyle Shanahan from the 49ers. And all three of them have plus 1,300 odds.
Brandon Staley's a rookie coach, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
So you're a rookie coach is okay.
Then Brian Flores, he comes in number 4, plus 1,400 from the Dolphins. And Sean McVay from the Rams, number 5 at plus 1,400. I think
bottom 3. I think McDermott is at 17 should be higher.
Yeah, he should be a lot higher in my opinion.
The bottom 2, I really don't think. And this is not me being a homer. Don't get me wrong. Like, I will fight for my Titans all day long, and argue why I think they're better than everybody else. But I'm also realistic. You can vouch for this. In games, I'm like, yeah, we have no chance to win this game.
Yeah. Well, I know what you're going to say, and I agree. Vrabel should be on this list.
in the bottom two. I'm not saying he should be up in the top fourth,
No,
whatever.
But he should be ahead of Belichick and Peyton for sure.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Put him there. Like McDermott, I think McDermott should be better up. It should be, or if should be ahead. If not, I mean, at least tied. But McDermott should be ahead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Bill Belichick and Sean Payton, I don't see them. The only reason they were ever, I mean, Bill Belichick was a great coach, but if he comes around and puts up a 14-2 season with Cam Newton, then okay, I'll be like, all right, dude, all right, whatever. Yeah. A 14-3 season, you're legit. But Sean Payton, I mean.
Yeah, if Tom Brady was still in New England and Drew Brees was still in New Orleans, then maybe you could throw them on this list. But
Vrabel's had he's been above 500 every single year. He's made the playoffs last 3 years. He went to the AFC Championship game 2 years ago, and he was 10 points. Like, we had a lead going into halftime against the team that won the Super Bowl that year.
Yep.
And last year we had some bumps and bruises. We had 2,000-yard rusher. Our defense was porous. That's why we didn't make it far in the draft, in the playoffs. But yeah, he's still not even a top 10 candidate for Coach of the Year after his resume. Like, yes, Kevin Stefanski, I get it. He turns the Browns team around and wins, but 1 year of coaching, and he's a Coach of the Year with no track record. But then Mike Vrabel's on there with great accolades now, but nothing. Like, the disrespect for Mike Vrabel is ridiculous to me. Like, this is not even a Titans, and this is just like, come on, dude. He showed that he could coach in this league, and he's a winning coach in this league, but he can't even get a top 10 nod.
He's
Coach of the Year,
former Buckeye, so he's got a place in my heart.
He was a good defensive coordinator. He's a good linebackers coach. I mean, he's a good defensive coach. Like, and he learned last year, like, he couldn't be the head coach and defensive coordinator. That's why we now have a defensive coordinator, because he's like, what happened? We didn't hire one, and we kind of sucked.
Yeah.
And defense. So, I mean, I don't know. I think he's getting a little shade there, but we'll see.
Yeah. So OTAs start up this week. I know a lot of the veteran players are kind of opting out, but Myles Garrett sent a text to Kevin Stefanski and said, "We're coming." So I don't know how many of the guys are going to show up, but Myles Garrett will be there at least.
And I don't know. Half these people are vaccinated, so what the fuck does it matter?
Right.
Yeah, go and practice. You're getting paid $1 million to go play a game. I get it. It's voluntary, right? Isn't it? These are the voluntary OTAs.
Yeah, it's voluntary training camp.
Yeah, so nobody has to be there. I get that. I understand that. But if your defense is gonna have 9 new starters, possibly, I think you guys should be there.
Yeah, it sounds like a big portion of them are going to be. And
if everybody, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they brought every single fucking person back that they were on the team last year. They re-signed everybody.
Yeah,
even their damn kicker got re-signed. All right. So do they need to make it to OTAs as a whole? Probably not. No. They familiar with the system, the situation, the team, each other. Yeah, they're the reigning Super Bowl champions. I'm pretty sure they're good. So the rookies, should the rookies be there? Maybe learn a couple. Yes. But should I expect the rest of the team? I don't know. Right. But a team that's going to boast 9 out of 11 new starters, I think you guys should be there.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I really do. Like, that's the line I draw. Like, if more than half your defense is going to be new, you should make these mini caps.
Yeah.
If less than half, then I think you like, all right, no, we're gonna pass. I think we're good. There's only a few new pieces. I think we can get them molded when it's mandatory, and it'd be all right. And then I'd be cool with that. But if you're boasting an 80% new defense, dude, I think you need all the time and all the practice in the world.
I agree, and we'll see how many guys show up this week. So last week we played the schedule game with the Browns and the Titans, but we didn't do Ohio State. So let's run through their schedule.
All right, 10-0.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, there is the question mark with the quarterback, but so they start out.
Oregon's the only thing that scares me, and it's early. Like, that scares the shit out of me because it's early. I mean, thank God it's home, but
Yeah, they start out the season with a Big Ten game at Minnesota on September 2nd. And then the big game, Oregon comes to Columbus. That starts a 3-game stretch, 3 home games in a row. Oregon, Tulsa, and Akron. So gets quite a bit easier after Oregon.
It gets pretty easy up until our October 30th.
Yeah, and then you got Rutgers, home against Maryland, the bye week, at Indiana, and then October 30th against Penn State. It's always a tough game.
Thank guys in the shoe because the fans will be allowed back. That whiteout could be.
That'll be fun.
That's one of the most unique and cool thing, like one of the coolest things and most intimidating things to ever see in a football game is the Penn State whiteout.
Yeah,
that is intense, and for you to perform and win in Penn State during a whiteout is impressive because you know. I'm like we're Buckeyes through and through. You know, any Big Ten team, the hell with you. So, but that whiteout is intense. It's scary to go into Penn State, you know, and see nothing but white. Like it's just.
Well, maybe we'll do our blackout for that game.
I don't know, but we should always. I get the blackout, but we should just do. I always thought a blood game would be cooler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do a bloodbath. Just call it the bloodbath. You know, the OSU bloodbath, and just be scarleted out. Everything is just red out, so it just looks like a bloodbath, you know, in there. So you have no idea. Like that's intense. You know, me a blackout. Like, all right, cool, blackout, yeah. But all right, yin and yang to Penn State. All right, cool. But like, you want to send a message. You want to be intense. You want to be intimidating, and a bloodbath. You know, the Buckeye bloodbath. It just has a ring to it. Like it's, we got to call the AD.
There we go. We'll put in our request. So after Penn State, they travel to Nebraska.
That's gonna be tough. That's always tough.
The game that always scares me, even though it's at home, Purdue, because no matter how bad Purdue seems to be, they always play the Ohio State tough. Yep. Then
Wisconsin this year, huh?
No Wisconsin. I don't think we played Purdue last year. I think we've got Purdue this year and no Wisconsin. And then finish it up home against Michigan State on November 20th. And then the big one, the final game, November 27th at Michigan in Ann Arbor. So that's always going to be a tough one as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be going into that game undefeated.
And you know what sucks? That game's always at 1:00.
I know.
Always.
Yeah, that should be a night game.
Why?
Right.
Sucks.
It does suck. So yeah, like you said, we expect them to run the table as always.
Michigan don't scare me this year. I really don't. Like their quarterback's questionable.
Well, he transferred.
Yeah.
So I don't know who their quarterback is now.
Exactly, and then their defense lost huge defensive players.
Yep.
Harbaugh is trash in college. Like he's just not good. Yeah. Like I don't know what it is. He has a winning record, but that's not why they hired you. Like they hired you to beat Ohio State, and you haven't done that once.
No.
Right? And you haven't I think he has a losing record in his top 10 teams, the top 5 teams.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he has a losing record. I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure he does.
He has a losing record against top 5 college teams. So it's like, his name should draw recruiting excellency, you know, like, oh, this dude helped me get to the NFL. But you're not. So
maybe,
I mean,
maybe he should stop wrestling recruits in their living room. Still think that's weird.
Yeah, maybe. But did you hear? Well, since we're on the Ohio State talk right now,
yep.
The 2021 top recruit.
No.
He sent he scheduled his Ohio State visit as a defensive end, and I'm really, really hoping we land him. That would give us the top defensive end back-to-back years. It would re-establish a dominance our defensive line has always had.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have 2 of those guys. I know
Yeah, like,
we've
it's
always had
crazy.
one, and then the one would leave, and another one would replace him. Although Bosa's played 1 year together, didn't they? Or were they?
No,
Oh, that's
no.
right. He left. Yeah, Joey left, and then Nick came in. That's right.
Yeah.
That would have been fun to see him play 1 year together.
Yeah. What is it now? Who is it? I'm trying to find the dude right now, but the defense end. He's the number one recruit in the country.
Yeah, I can't
He has
think of it. I know who you're talking about.
Alabama, Oregon, Washington, Ohio State, and one other team are in his top 5, and he's scheduled. So
Yeah, let's hope we land him.
yeah, I really hope so too, but we'll see. Who is it?
Yeah, normally all we hear about is wide receivers. Since we're becoming a wide receiver factory. So what else you got? Anything?
I'm trying to find. I'm looking right now. It's JT Tumalua.
Tumalua.
Yeah, something like some shit like that.
Okay.
I
believe you.
Yeah, right. Which is weird. I'm looking at the dude right here. The crystal ball has him going to Ohio State.
Really?
The two, yeah, and he has Oregon, USC, Washington, and Alabama are his top 5 schools. So there's a lot of West Coast schools: Oregon, USC, and Washington. And then you got Alabama, and Ohio State. And he's supposed to be crazy, like projected a better prospect than Sawyer.
Really?
Is what I've been reading. Yeah. So if it comes in the fruition, when that's the case, it's gonna be scary.
Yeah, we haven't seen Sawyer yet. Just the spring game is kind of what we're going off of. He got everybody excited with the 3 sacks. So a lot of hype surrounding him. So hopefully he's the next great one.
Which is funny because he's in the same class as Sawyer, and they say he's the number 1. But I'm looking at ESPN 300, and they have him at 4. But there's tweet says him as number 1. So, but if we can land him, he's from Washington. He's graded as a 90, and Sawyer is a 91. So this he's a defensive tackle, actually, 6'5", 280.
Oh, is he?
So it'd be him and Sawyer in there, but that he could play end. I could see him playing end. Those two playing end together could be a nightmare for that.
And that was definitely one of our biggest weaknesses last year.
Oh yes,
pass
really
rush.
Was. 100%, 100%.
All right, got anything else? Or are we good for this week? Like you said, not a whole lot of news, but
no, it's pretty. Since we switched to football, it's going to be kind of
we'll come up with
an uneventful summer, because usually summer we have basketball and baseball kind of fill the void. But since Kevin loves his new podcast more than his original, he kind of kicked the happening sports to the curb and just left us with the leftovers.
Not a whole lot happening with the Indians, anyways.
They won. They split the doubleheader today.
Yeah, they got to walk off in game 2.
And Class A won it for him. He was the winning pitcher.
Yeah, he gave up a run. But
Who started?
Got the win. Hentges. He did his normal thing, pitched a couple good innings, and then fall apart in 1 inning.
Who pitched the first one?
Savali. He lost. Can't blame him. I mean, he was 7-1 coming in, so he's been their best pitcher overall so far.
Best record. I don't think he has the best ERA, does he?
No, it's probably above 3 now. It was under 2 after his last start, or under 3 after his last start.
Yeah. All right. Well, no, I mean, I got, like I said, it's gonna be kind of.
Yeah, we'll come up with some different stuff.
Hopefully next next week we'll see Julio Jones trade will have happened, and we'll have some new moves, some roster cuts, some roster moves for the NFL because of the new year, new caps. And you did see that they raised the cap for next year. It's gonna be like over 200 million, like 203 million. So that's gonna make a big difference because these teams projected that all these projections you see for this cap space are based off of a current number of the current year, like not the COVID year, but the year before it. So it was like 185 or something like that.
Yeah.
So you look at Tennessee was this year was low in the cap, but next year at 185, they're supposed to be the top 10 cap team, But with that, now that they still have like 15 million more.
Right.
And that a lot of teams, the Browns you should see the Browns go up quite a bit. Actually, maybe not so much the Browns because they're gonna have a couple big signings go. So they may be in the bottom of the barrel. I think that's why they're very active this year. They made some big moves.
Yeah, so we got some re-signings coming up, big re-signings.
Yeah, because you got Nick Chubb because he's only a 4-year.
Baker.
You don't have that 5th year. Baker, Denzel
Ward. Wyatt Teller is another one too if they decide to keep him long term.
Well, why wouldn't you? Wasn't he graded as one of the top guards in the NFL?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's another guy.
But when was he drafted? The same year as?
I think he's up after this year. I think this is his last year.
So him, Baker, Ward,
and Chubb.
Chubb all have to be re-signed next year.
I'm almost positive, yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's why OBJ is going to be.
Y'all broke as hell. Like y'all gonna be asking, Pittsburgh, what are you going to do with those ranch packets? We can't afford condiments in our kitchen right now.
Right.
Like, damn, dudes. I don't. Who walks like that? That's. Let's not give away what we can sell. So next week we'll talk cap casualties for the Browns because there may be a couple of unexpected cap casualties based on.
Yeah, now I'll verify all those contracts too. I'm pretty sure Teller's up after this year though.
That's 5 big key players.
Yep.
The 4. Teller,
Ward, Chubb, Ward, and Mayfield.
I don't know if I think Chubb may be a cap casualty.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, you don't want to get rid of defense. They value corners so high.
Yeah, they do.
So with that mindset, Denzel Ward's safe. Although Wyatt Teller could be cut based on the ability to draft and say we could do that again.
Yeah.
But also, why would you want to risk? Because you got Batonio and then JC Tretter who aren't getting, or JC Tretter ain't getting that young.
No.
So JC Tretter, who's your center?
Yeah, he's center.
Do you think Tyler could play center?
I think he has in the past. Not for long stretches, but like filling in.
I think if you let JC Tretter go, so that's what, 12 million?
Yeah.
That you could free up, that you could divvy up to the Wyatt Teller.
I know the kid they drafted last year, Nick Harris, was the guy they were looking at as the future center. So I know he had to play some guard last year out of position, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
We'll see what they do.
All right, guys. So we will talk to you next week. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you next week.